Welcome, everyone, to CDO's magazine series of one-on-one interviews with CDOs, data leaders, and key influencers. You're listening to Robert Lutton, Vice President, Santel Consultants. I'm coming to you today from Toronto, Canada, working with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ Symposium, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers. Today, I'd like to introduce Jose Murillo, the Chief Analytic Officer at Bonito Financial Group. Welcome, Jose.
Hey, Robert. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
It is a pleasure. I understand that you are based in Mexico.
I'm based in Mexico City. That's where Banorte it's located.
And I understand that it's a wonderful background. I'm actually located in Toronto. You're actually located in Mexico City. I believe Mexico City has got quite a large population. It's got, when I was doing my research, at 21.6 million and climbing. It's one of the largest cities in the world. Is that our understanding?
You're right. It's one of the big megalopolis of the world.
In the top 10, I believe. Yes. It's quite an achievement. Tell me, I believe we were talking before we started the recording. One of the buildings in the background is your building, is it not?
Yeah, the second tallest building in the background. It's one of Banorte's buildings in Mexico City.
It is a small world, so thanks to CDO Magazine for providing that backdrop for you. So can you tell us a little bit about Banorte Financial Group?
Yeah, sure. Banorte Financial Group, it's a group that has been in Mexico for over 130 years. And after the privatization of the banks in the early 90s, because they were estatized in the 80s, it was the number 17th of 18 banks. And during the 90s and beginning of the century, the bank started to become bigger, basically by acquiring other financial institutions. If you remember, there was the tequila crisis, and there was a lot of pain in the financial industry in Mexico at the time. And at some point, Banorte by 2013 was the fourth largest financial group in Mexico, measured by assets under management. And but suddenly, at that juncture, the profitability of the bank was on a downward trend, and it was clear to the upper management that we needed to do things differently. And there was by 2015. It was a new. We had a new CEO and a new president of the board who thought of transforming Banorte into a data-driven organization, and that's when my story started with Banorte of setting up an analytics business unit for the financial group. Nowadays, Banorte is the second largest financial group, measured again by assets under management. And before the pandemic, we were the most profitable financial group in Mexico and probably North America with an ROE of 26%, that it's not that common for any financial group.
Congratulations on the profitability, 26%. Now, I understand that you've been with the organization for just over 7 years, and you've got quite the career. I'm wondering if you can share with the audience, how did you get started in data management, data analytics?
Yeah, thank you, Robert. I'm a PhD economist. I was trained in the US. I studied at Rice University. When I completed my PhD, I went to work to the central bank at the research department. And prior to leaving the central bank, I was part of the Monetary Policy Committee for over 10 years, upon which I held the staff's view on inflation, regional economics. I also had a technology department which reported to me. And so after a long tenure at the central bank, when I was in my early 40s, I moved to the private sector, Banorte. And the idea was, as I said, to build an analytics department. It was a big change, and I guess at the time, since it was a nascent industry, the data science analytics industry, they welcomed me, and I found a fertile ground to to do what I have done in the past 7 years.